and welcome to my new channel, Dorky DIY. This is my very first video, and today we will be reviewing the We Are Memory Keepers mold press. Let's take a look at the machine and see all the different components. Alright, so let's talk about what you get in the box. The machine itself comes from We Are Memory Keepers. It was about $70 on the Home Shopping Network. I got it on sale when it first came out a couple weeks ago. I think normally it's going to run about $130. You also get 4 plastic sheets to do the molding. And you get this adapter for your vacuum cleaner. I'm using a small shop vac from Walmart. Seems to work fine. It plugs straight into the back port here. No wiggle room and no need for this. So obviously you're going to need a vacuum with a hose and things to mold. You're going to have to keep buying these plastic sheets, and I bought 2 boxes of them. They look like this. I'll show a close-up of that here in a minute in the video. This box there's 40 pieces in it, and it was about $30. I think you can also get boxes of 12. So keep in mind with shipping, which is $7 for each individual item off of the Home Shopping Network, each thing costs $7 to be shipped. So with shipping and tax, these sheets are going to run you about $1 each. So the things I got to mold, I just went to the Dollar Tree and got some little plastic toys for kids. So I got some bats and some bugs and some little grow sea creatures. I thought that would be fun. And I've already done a couple molds to see how this thing works, because I don't like it when people, this isn't an unboxing and first opinion. So I wanted to use it a couple times, see what it's capable of, and who this is for. I got a sand dollar, and I'll show you a close-up of this here in a minute because it's real hard to see. But it's about this big, and it did a really good job on the sand dollar. You can see all of the detail of it, and it did a really great job on the sand dollar. I did notice that when you started to put more than one thing on the tray, the molds did not come out as good. I started getting a bunch of lines, which means, if you pour chocolate or wax or anything into these molds, it's not going to make a good mold. So today I'm going to try to redo these bugs and frogs and things and just put one under the piece of plastic and see if we get a better mold like we did with the sand dollar. So first off, this has to heat up for 10 minutes. So I already pushed the button, which is right here in the front, this glowing blue button. You turn it on there, and you have to wait for 10 minutes for the heating element underneath to heat up. Okay, so I'm trying to do a better close-up of these molds. They're clear, so it's a little difficult. I don't know if you guys can see the lines that I'm talking about, but those created a really bad mold of the object. So I'm going to try this again, and I'm also going to try later to put this back in the machine and see if I can melt it down and reuse it and get a good mold off of it, or if this is just trash now. So here is the sand dollar, and this was the best mold that I got out of any of the ones I did. I think probably because I just put one thing in it, and it was very large. So, and if you can see the detail, it actually picked up a lot of detail in there. So this would be a really great mold to use for wax melts or fondant or chocolate, any of those things. Okay, so while this finishes heating up, I'm going to go ahead and show you all how to put the plastic sheet in the tray. So here is the tray that goes on top. It's magnetized on the sides, so it comes apart, and when you get the plastic sheet in, it just snaps right back down, and then it goes right back in the machine. And make sure you take this out while it's heating up, because I did not do that, and it seems to be warping a little bit, so hopefully it'll go back to where it should. Alright, and here's the plastic sheet. It's about 6.75 inches by 6.75 inches. On either side you have a film that you have to take off. So we'll just take that film off. Alright. Now we just take this and put it right down in here. There are little notches, if you can see those, that hold it in place. And then it just magnetizes right back down. Okay. And then on the bottom, that's where you put your thing that you're going to want to mold. And then on top, I'm not going to touch it because it's really hot, there's an element that heats up the plastic. And on the inside of the arms, you can't see it because it's real tiny, but there are marks, and it shows down to 1 inch. And you want the plastic to droop down to 1 inch, and that's when you can slap it down on what you're molding, and then turn on your vacuum cleaner. So let's slide this back in, and it just magnetizes up there at the top. And I think I'm going to do a mold of this little bat here that I got from the Dollar Tree. So we'll be back in just a minute as soon as that droops down. Okay, now that it's drooped down to the 1 inch mark, we go ahead and put our moldable on the platform. And we turn on our vacuum cleaner, and I'm probably going to cut the sound out so that it doesn't blow out anybody's head. Okay, and you just leave the vacuum on for a second until it cools down on the platform. And then, as you can see, it molded up in there. And we will take that out in just a second as soon as it gets cooled down. Alright, and it just fell out of there. So that's what we're left with. I am getting some lines here that I don't think would make a great mold. And I've got a line here. I've had that happen on a couple different ones, and I don't know whether it's the vacuum or it's just a learning curve. So some things I've done have molded out really well, and some things have not. Okay, so let's try one more. We're gonna mold this little turtle here. So I'm gonna set him down in the middle of the platform. Put the sheet in. Wait for it to droop down. And then we will mold him. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes when it's drooped down to 1 inch. Okay, so it's ready to mold. Let's go ahead and turn on the vacuum. See what we got. I still got some lines going out from the turtle. Let's take him out of the frame here. That one turned out pretty good though. So I would say you need to mold one thing at a time, because molding more than one, I was not getting very good molds. Okay, so I just put a mold inside of it that did not mold very well the first time I used it, because I wanted to see if you could reuse the plastic sheets if a mold did not turn out as well as you would like it. So it's drooped down now. I've got a little starfish on the base, and I'm going to turn the vacuum on and see what happens. Alright, let's take a look. Well, it did pretty good. No worse than any of the other molds I've done so far. So let's take it out. We still do have some lines. I don't really think it would necessarily affect molding something in this. I don't think it would look very good on a shaker card, obviously. But I think the answer is yes. If you mess up on a mold, you can put it back in the machine and try again. I did put it in with the bubble facing down of what I molded before, because I'm pretty sure if you put it up, it would get burned against the element of the machine. So make sure and put the plastic with the bubble facing down, and it drooped just like normal and everything went fine. So I'd say this is a plus that you can reuse your plastic if you mess up. Awesome. Okay, so my final thoughts on the mold press are, if you can get it on sale, I think it's a pretty good price. Who's it for? It's for people that make chocolates, shaker cards. If you want to make wax melts in different shapes that you can't find a mold for. I bought this because I make chocolates and I wanted to be able to make my own molds. Things you have to keep in mind are each of these little sheets is about $1. So is molding one thing gonna be worth it to you for $1 a sheet? Some of the cons, I think these sheets are a little bit small. They're perfect for card makers and people that do small things. I was hoping to be able to get more than one mold with each piece of plastic so that I could do chocolates. Am I upset that I can only get one mold? No. I think it'll still be helpful in what I'm doing. But do I wish it was bigger? Yes. Yes, I do. I think for the price of each sheet, it would be better if it was about a 12 by 12. I understand the machine would probably be huge then, but I would like to make, you know, a pretty big mold so that you can be able to get more than one thing on each sheet. And also, it's going to depend on whether you can reuse the sheets if you've messed up a mold. So I do think this takes a bit of a learning curve. I don't know whether it's my vacuum not strong enough or whether I'm molding things that are just too complicated for it, but I am getting these lines on more molds that I'm not. So I'll keep playing with it and see if maybe it's just a learning curve issue. I haven't got it down about how fast you press it down on your thing, or maybe I'm not melting the plastic long enough. But from all of the molds I've done, they've all gotten these lines on them except for the sand dollar. So maybe the things I'm molding are just too small or too intricate. I'm really not sure. I'll keep playing with it and see. So, you know, I think any machine is worth it if you have a reason to use it. So, will I find things to do with this? Yes. Do I think it was worth the money? Yes, I do. I do, because you can make a vacuum mold press yourself, but I don't have the capabilities or the a place to make one. So it was very convenient that I can buy one that's already ready to go. I already had a shop vac. So, you know, I think this was a great purchase for my craft room. And I do think it will get used. Will it get used every day? No. But I think it will be worth it in the long run that I can use this now to make pretty much a mold of anything I want. Now, what are their claims that you can use it with? They say you can make shaker cards, you can put wax in it, you can use it for chocolate, and I was really excited because I thought you could use it for resin, because I do some resin work. But they say that you cannot use it for resin, you can only use it for UV resin. So I have not tried either one. I've not tried UV resin, but I will try one where I put regular resin in it and see if it sticks, and see what happens. So at a later date I will put some resin in one of these and see what happens. But thank you for watching my very first video. I really appreciate it. be the first person to subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Comment, tell me what I can do differently. If y'all have any questions, let me know and I'll see if I can play around with this more. If I can't answer the question, then I will try to figure out how. And yeah, just let me know if y'all have any questions that I can maybe answer in a later video. I will. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.